I wanted to do a video about um, Brother Joshua Mhlakela, who was the South African pastor who last September 23, it was in the mainstream. It was covered quite a bit that a lot of Christians believed that he was predicting that the rapture was going to happen, that the Christians who believe in rapture. And then they were all disappointed that it had not come to pass. And I want to do a video about him. Um, so in 2011, Harold Camping was another pastor from California with a family radio, which was his own little ministry that he had, kind of a cult within Christianity, that falsely predicted that in May of 2011, it was going to be the rapture. And that turned out to be wrong. Then he had a stroke and passed away sometime after that. And with Harold Camping, he just had miscalculated because he thought the Bible was analytical, and he had used a bunch of numbers and mathematics calculating with Noah and the Old Testament, and he had calculated 2011 and turned out to be wrong, false. Fast forward all the way to 2025, you got another fella in South Africa who is a pastor of a South African church. But with him, I'm suspicious that he's a troll because he went on to set more dates, for 5, 6 other dates that also turned out to be wrong. With him, there's more to the story, that it seems like he deliberately may have been trying to deceive Christians and was trolling. I'm just really suspicious that he's some kind of a troll. With Harold Camping, he was just kind of a crazy old man. And so that was 2011. I have another guy in 2025 doing it. I had seen a video from a person that knew him personally and was totally deceived by Joshua Mhlakela, and went into his background and South Africa. He's from South Africa. South Africa is a country full of corruption, from the government to the churches to there's that country. Just the fact that he comes from South Africa, that is a country that is full of corruption. I know a lot about South Africa, going back to Nelson Mandela. Like, that country is a disaster. It is so much corruption in South Africa. It's unbelievable. It's a murderous country. There's so much bad stuff. I'm not trying to hurt their tourism, but I would never go there. So that right there should tell you something. The fact that he's from South Africa. And there's a YouTuber that followed him closely and knew him personally, Medic for Christ. And he's got a video up. If you go to Medic for Christ, he had an outstanding video telling the whole story to really understand why this happened in September with Pastor Mhlakela from South Africa. And he did a great video, about a half an hour long, where he went through detail about, he belonged to South Africa, he belonged to a corrupt church that was stealing money from people, and then he denied that he wasn't part of that scam. And he's a very shady, one of these South African shady people. He's a very sketchy guy. And he went through, he had a really great video about exposing what that was all about and why Joshua Mhlakela, people were warning about him, that he's a shyster. He is a shyster. And he might be trolling. He may deliberately have done that to deceive Christians. But as far as, the rapture itself, like, this has been going on a long time. Like I said, 2011, you had another guy, Harold Camping, that did similar, but with him, I think he just was confused himself. But with regard to the rapture itself and that whole concept, like, my position on it, now I've really, done a lot of studying, is I'm on the fence. I am on the fence about this event of the biblical Christian rapture. I'm totally on the fence about it. I don't know whether it's real or not, and my position is I'm on the fence. I just say I don't know, because I listened to many experts on the Bible, and they both make compelling arguments for and against it. And I don't see any definitive um, Bible expert theologian that has spoken on this. And I've heard some, really smart people that really know the Bible well, and nothing definitive. They both make compelling arguments for why it is real and it's not real. I've heard both sides, and I can't make up my mind which is true. So I'm on the fence about it, but I don't rule out. I think it's certainly. I think it's possible. I think it's possible, but it may happen in a different way than what people think. And I don't even use that word. I don't use the word rapture. I use the word tribulation because I do believe in the tribulation. So I don't even use that word. I use the word tribulation. I don't say we're heading for the rapture. I say we're heading for the tribulation. I use that word because that to me makes more sense. I don't even bother with that because I'm on the fence about it. I don't see anything definitive from experts telling me one way or another. I just say tribulation because I know we're heading for a 7-year period called the tribulation. That's what I believe. You can leave me your comments.